I started learning something new, I just collect it and use it. That's all my soundtracks were. My way of studying. This is about my history. This is about legacy.
Have y'all seen the video of Doechii talking about her with limiting beliefs? As a matter of fact, I actually posted this on my story. This is, and I think this is very important for everybody who is an artist, creates, makes music. Everything that you have is already on the inside of you, right? So I'm gonna let you guys know this. This is a video that I literally saw yesterday, and she perfectly embodies exactly everything I've been talking about. Probably for the last, like, I want to say the last, like, 4 years, 5 years at that max. So check this out. No label necessary. 3 days ago posted this. Every artist, please listen to this important message by Doechii. Check this out.
Very ready to.
Let me refresh it real quick.
I felt very ready to stop being codependent on my label. And when I say that, I mean like codependent on their opinions, codependent on their approval, codependent on their advice even. I realized that what works for everybody else doesn't work for me. And I don't think that I fit into any type of particular formula that can just be recreated a whole bunch of times. I'm forever evolving. And once I detached from codependency, I was able to be like, I don't think I want to even do an album. I don't think I'm actually even ready for that. I'm ready for a mixtape, and I'm ready to be raw, and I'm ready to tell my story my way, and I don't want any hands in the pot. And I made that call, I made that decision, but it also represented a decision that I made in myself to be dependent upon God within me. I was just fed up with doubting myself, you know? And you doubt yourself when you have convinced yourself that something outside of you is gonna get you somewhere. And that lie that I was believing for a long time was getting too heavy for me to carry. And I was like, I genuinely can't do it anymore. I don't care. I'm snatching a wig off and we're gonna do this. I have to do it now or else it ain't never gonna get done, and I'm not letting nobody take my dream.
So, first and foremost, shout out to Doechii the Don, Doechii the Dean, Doechii Supreme. I resonate with her so much because I remember and what's funny is she actually has a video of her reading this book. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of it, called The Artist's Way. And it basically is it's a creative path to be able to opening and unlocking the creative thought, the mind, to be able to create purely, right? And so I remember I bought this book at the beginning of the pandemic because I remember I had, and just to give you guys a little bit of a throwback to my story a little bit, 2019, I had just discovered the whole glasses and afro kind of look. Folks who knew me prior knew I did not have a lot of hair. That wasn't even my thing. But I think for me within my own story, I remember when the pandemic begun and everybody, they were, everything was like lockdown, COVID had hit. And I remember just having this moment internally where I was like, man, I really need to get locked in with what I want to do in my life. And I think out of everything I wanted to do, I realized what I wanted to do was to create a life that was sustainable. Not only sustainable, but I wanted to create. I wanted to make art, and I wanted to have a house and do that. So luckily I managed to come back home. My mom allowed me to come back home and live with them for a bit. But I had already started making these short form videos on Instagram, and they weren't like big or anything. They were just kind of small. But what I noticed is I had something that would get people's attention, but I hadn't like broke through yet. Now here's something crazy, right? This is gonna blow your mind. My confidence in late 2019, I just remember realizing I need to be able to unlock more. and I don't know how I can unlock more, but I know there's more. And so, long story short, all I can recall is I remember opening the book. I bought the book, The Artist's Way, at the beginning of the pandemic. Amazon drops it off. I'm over here experiencing COVID symptoms and all that. Like, you know, I'm sweating and thinking, and it's crazy. But all I can recall was I read the book, and the first couple pages was talking about this thing called the censor. And I remember reading it, and they talked about how the censor, or like the serpent, will take the first moment you have an idea, something within you that allows you to be like, that idea is great, or no, that idea isn't. And I realized internally I had something inside of myself that was telling me that what I was making was not good enough. What I was making was not great enough. It wasn't something that people should hear. And I realized that was a limiting belief. It really was a limiting belief. And I'll never forget the moment I realized, like, what I make, people value it. Even if it's just a few people, if it's just my friends, even if it's just the people online, a few people online, I realized what I have to say matters. And crazy enough, I read one page of The Artist's Way. I looked at it, I closed the book, and just something, as soon as I closed the book, told me, it was like, yo, you need to make more beats, Cole. You need to make more beats, and you need to put it out, and you need to show people. And I kid you not, I was creating like a madman during the pandemic. And if y'all have seen my videos on IG, on Twitter, on Instagram, it felt like anything I was making was just gold. But it wasn't just because I thought it was gold. It was because I gave myself permission. That was the unlockable key right there. It was within me the whole time. God gave me that ability. God gave me this ability, something that I spent hours and hours on perfecting, not just the physical things of like, okay, I know how Ableton works, but I'm passionate about it, and I'm willing to sit here and learn about it to be able not only to spit it back out, but I can show it to somebody and show other people. Did you know how valuable it is to teach people something that they don't know? And I would highly advise everybody to look at what you know right now. There's a group of people that don't know what you know, and they're waiting to hear you. They're waiting to hear you. They're waiting to hear you. Think about how crazy that is. And we don't value our own information enough to think like there's people who don't know what we know, and know if we were to speak this information to somebody else, they would grab value from it. And so even me talking at this moment was a limiting belief that I had at one point about, do people really want to hear a beat maker that makes beats talk? What is my whole live stream at this point? Like literally my whole career, the moment that I opened up my mouth and spoke, that was when God was like, oh, I'm gonna let that be a mic drop moment. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I never would have thought that what I knew actually obtained value. And it does. So much so, just to let you know, I'm not a big stats person. I'm not a big stats person. But it is very fascinating that I peeped my content, right? I'm gonna just show you my analytics. The moment I decided to start talking and not just, because the reason why I talk is because I have a lot of information to give. Bro, I have 120,000 views, 9.8 thousand watch time hours over the last 28 days. And the highest viewed video is me reacting to Timbaland. I didn't even make a beat in that video. It's just me reacting and talking. I'm just talking. Simple as this. God gonna get real with you the moment you get real with him. And the only way to be able to get real is to format your life on truth and speak out words. Use your words, man. And actually what's crazy is this. I'm gonna give you a little scripture that I peeped today, because this actually gave me a lot of joy today while I was making music. A homie of mine put me on Psalms. He was like, yo, you should peep, because I've been challenging myself to like read the Bible every single day, which is, it's doable. It's just you really gotta dedicate time to it. But there is a Bible scripture that I was tapping into. Let me see here. I'm gonna find it. Pull it up on the computer. It was Psalms 3. Psalms 3 and 3. I'm gonna show y'all what it looks like. So this is it right here. So I'm gonna read the full chapter because everything kind of like coincides, and I'm gonna bring it all back to that dream I talked about earlier. But Psalms 3, Psalm of David when he fled from Absalom. This is the New International Version. Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying of me, God will not deliver him. Number 3, but check this out. This is what it says. But you, Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high. I call out to the Lord and he answers me from his holy mountain. Now check this out. This is probably like the kicker, right? I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. But you can read the rest, because everything else is great. I will not fear the 10,000 that sail on every side. Rise, Lord, deliver me. Strike all enemies on the jaw. Break the teeth of the wicked. For the Lord comes deliverance. May your blessing be on your people. But peep 5, bro. I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. And just so you know, it hits. Just so you know, it hits. I'm on 4 now, and I'm gonna just skip ahead to chapter 4, Psalm, verse 8. And it says, in peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Crazy. And let me actually go to the King James. I want to go to the King James version real quick for 4. Let me see here. Let me go back to NIV 4. So this is it. This is the great part. Chapter 4, verse 4. Tremble and do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent. I'm telling you this because I'm aware. I'm so aware now that God has been sustaining it. When you align your life with truth, God will sustain you. You can simply fall asleep.